I'm Brittany.
And I'm Danya.
And we're the Red Bottom Republicans, where we talk about life,
Liberty.
and Louboutins. Woo!
So, I heard you had a good story for me. Tell me.
Oh my god, okay. So, I had mock trial practice today. Okay?
Oh, right.
And everyone's younger than me. I feel so old. In my group, everyone's like 23, 24.
Like, just right out of school.
Yeah. And so we're sitting there and we're going over our directs and our coach is explaining it to us, and this guy keeps going, "Oh yeah, man, bet. Yeah, bet. Like, bet, man." And I'm like looking at him and I'm like,
You're like, you're going to say this in the court?
I don't know what's going on here, but I'll just leave it alone. And finally I'm like, what does bet mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, if you're not saying like, oh, I'm bet, you know, like, yeah, I bet you can do that. No, like,
he's like, bet.
yeah, and I'm, what does this mean? And so I was actually just texting one of my other friends that's older
like,
than
asking.
me, and I was like, I feel so old, you'll never believe what happened. And so she Urban Dictionary'd it for me, and it means, oh, cool, I get it, I agree.
Oh.
Have you ever heard this before?
No, the only thing I've heard is like when somebody will say, oh, I could do that, and then they're like, bet. Like, bet you can. Or,
Yeah.
But not like, oh, I agree with you. But I also don't feel like that's courtroom talk. So I don't know.
Well, I said,
Maybe it's better you're not the youngest one in the group.
I don't know if the hell they have time to learn all this new slang, because between studying, keeping up with the politics, and like family,
Oh, no,
I don't watch
that's too
TV,
hard.
I don't listen to the radio.
So, like, kind of similar thing happened to me. Somebody was telling me about someone, and they're like, oh, he's based. And I'm like,
Oh, I know that one.
but I was just like, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. So I'm looking it up on Urban Dictionary and stuff, but I really couldn't tell still exactly what it meant. And so I finally asked him, I was like, is that a good thing? And he goes, oh yeah, no, it's a good thing that he's based. I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
cool, yeah, he's based. So I'm gonna start using that one now.
I still don't get the word simp. People are like, oh, you simp for him. Like, I get what it means, but I feel like it's weird.
I think it's weird too because people are saying, oh, like, guys shouldn't simp for you. But I'm like, I think they should. Like, they should be, I don't know, buying me flowers and stuff like that. Like, I don't know.
Like, happy. It seems like happy to see you means they're simp, and that's not good.
Yeah, they make it like a simp is just even having respect and being nice to a woman. Like, that's kind of what these, like, younger kids mean. Like, if you're just even nice to a girl, then you're, like, simping for them.
I think it is the modern day version of, like, oh, you're whipped. But when people say you were whipped, like, you actually had to do things.
Yeah.
To be a simp, you just kind of have to have a crush on a girl or something.
Yeah, then you're a simp. I don't know. I don't get all the lingo, but that's
I
fine.
don't either.
I'm trying to keep. We're based. The Red Bottom Republicans.
We are
based.
We are based.
And I like the whole woke thing. I just kind of got that.
And you know,
too.
you got like the middle part going on.
I've always done that. Though.
Okay, I don't. So I've got to learn how to do that and get some bell bottoms or something. I don't even know what they're called.
I know. Me and the bell bottoms don't. I haven't found a pair that I like really like yet. Except I have a pair that kind of flares, and then there's like a little slit here, and they're pretty cute. But they're not like the like the 80s like flare. I can't do that yet.
I'm just too short. I ordered a couple of pairs, and they're all so long that even if I got them hemmed, like by the time I get them hemmed,
they're just like skinny jeans. That's so funny.
So struggle bus there. But I see you have new shoes. I have new shoes.
We both have new shoes. I mean, I wore these yesterday to brunch, but yours are brand new.
Brand new.
They're so cute.
But I got them for Christmas, so they're not actually new. I just haven't worn them yet.
I know, but I love them.
Because they're like sandals, so they're summery.
I love them.
And they're both of ours are suede, so we have to be careful.
I know. Even yesterday, I didn't even walk out in the dirt to go to my car.
Oh, you have to wear your flip-flops.
So I did. I wore my flip-flops to the car and was like holding them like little babies because I'm like I made sure it wasn't gonna rain yesterday. I said there is no way.
Ooh, I know. The first time I wore suede ones, I have the exact same ones you have, but in hot pink. And it was my birthday. Went out to dinner at this brand new restaurant, and the waitress spilled an entire pitcher of water on me, and I was wearing white, and the first thing I thought of was, oh my god, my shoes. And I like jump up and I'm like, my shoes, and everyone in the restaurant is staring at me. Like, it was really embarrassing.
But we weren't even like caring that you were wearing white. Like, the first thing you think of is,
are there water spots on my shoes?
I know. Well, similar thing with me. I got these thigh-high suede Louboutins we go to New York every year for Thanksgiving, my family, and that's kind of where my parents like buy us our Christmas gifts because we get to pick them out. You know, it's not a surprise anymore. we're too old for surprises. So I got these pair of boots. I'm literally wearing them for 30 minutes. We go to Trump Tower, and I get a cup of ice cream. I literally get a cup of ice cream because I knew with a cone, like I'd spill it on myself. So I was being safe, but I dropped it all down. Like it's dripping down the boots. Oh my god. And as soon as I can even start screaming, my mom is like ripping it off my foot, running to the bathroom. And you can even tell, like whatever she did and like as fast as she ran to the bathroom, like probably knocking people down in Trump Tower, right? Yeah, they look brand new. So thanks, Mom.
Well, I'm gonna need her secret because I have a feeling I'm going to ruin mine.
Oh, she's good with that stuff. If I have a stain, I give it to her. I'm like, Mom, I can't do it. And she just mad. It's like magic. It's
Moms are magic.
Yeah, when we're a mom, like we'll know.
I hope, yeah,
we'll know.
It just comes to you.
Yeah, we'll know. So it's fine.
Well, okay. We have a guest today. Dr. Seuss.
Canceled. He's been canceled.
Everything's been canceled, but
first Mr. Potato Head, now Dr. Seuss. I have a lot of thoughts on this. I just don't understand, and I would like to hear a really good argument of why he should be canceled, because I don't think I've heard one yet, other than that one fish is red and one fish is blue. I mean, I don't get how this is racist by any means, but
I know. And then I think, like, they said it was only 6 books, but then Joe Biden left Dr. Seuss out of the proclamation on Read Across America Day, which started to celebrate Dr. Seuss's birthday. So now you're going to leave out the author who started this holiday that you're celebrating in all schools. So I don't understand.
Well, also, it's like 6 years ago, we have Obama as president, and there's videos of him reading these books to high school students saying, in quotes, everything you need to know in life is in Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, and pictures of Michelle Obama reading it
to kids. And now we can have a white male president cancel Dr. Seuss. I wonder how they feel about it. Or I don't even know, have they said anything about Dr. Seuss?
I don't know.
Because that would be like really messed up if they're saying like, you know, in 1 year, oh, everything you need to know is in this book, and then the next year, oh, it's racist. I mean, it's crazy stuff.
I feel like today everything is racist, so I wonder what will be canceled next. What do you think?
I don't know.
Well, I heard something about Pepe Le Pew and Speedy Gonzales, so we'll have to see what happens with those.
Yeah, I don't know what else would be racist, but I really didn't think they could.
I'm thinking like Mr. Clean.
Oh, yeah.
Or something.
Maybe.
What is it gonna be? Just Clean soon? That's not really racist, but sexist. You know, they're gonna cancel it.
Well, they're trying to cancel the Queen.
Oh, I have so many thoughts on this.
I do too.
Okay.
Just watching the interview, my mouth is like this.
Okay, well, I have never liked Meghan Markle, even in Suits. I don't know why. But I have to say this. London is my favorite city in the entire world. I love the Queen. I have loved the Queen since I was a little girl. To me, I think the Queen is like the epitome of grace and elegance and poise. She did not want to be the leader of England. She wasn't even really, like, she was born into it, but it just kind of happened because her uncle
it kind of like just abdicated
the throne, right? And so she was never even supposed to be queen, and she took over that position, and she has never complained about it. She has never been seen like screaming at somebody or like
she's great,
not handling herself. Like, she has always been the epitome of what the crown should be. And for these people to come after her right now, she's like 90 years old. Like, let the poor lady finish off her life. Leave her alone. Leave the monarchy alone.
I know. It's crazy because she's like, I don't want to be in the spotlight. But hey, Oprah, can we do an interview?
Oh, yeah, can I have a job at the voiceover for Disney? Can my husband go on James Corden? Like, yeah, can we do all these like set up charity drives
all of these
and
connections
stuff?
She has from, you know, being part of the royal family. I mean, it's not like she's some random person on the street that's like can call up these people and say, can I have this job?
And my thing is too, like, she made the whole thing about race when I, like, truly really don't believe that it was about race. I think it was more that she was an outsider, and not an outsider because she was half black, but an outsider because she was an American. She had been divorced. Like, there are a lot of things that just don't follow royal protocol there.
Yeah.
And then everyone was comparing her to Kate, who in the beginning the media was not nice to Kate. Like, I remember that because the royal wedding was one of, like, my favorite days. I woke up at 4 in the morning to watch it. Like, I was obsessed.
Yeah.
And so I remember when they got engaged and they were, Waity Katie, like, she's just waiting for him, and she went to that school just so she could meet him. Like, she tried to trap him, all these things. But then Kate Middleton followed the protocols. She did what she was supposed to do. She did what she knew she had to do marrying into that family. And then,
because even Oprah asked Meghan, like, did you know what you were getting into? And she's like, no.
Did you not Google him?
Well,
like, he's the prince.
She's like, I
England.
knew he was the prince, but I really didn't know, like, what would come with it. You know what's coming, like, being the wife of a prince.
It'd be like saying that you were engaged to the president of the United States, and then you marry him, and then you go, oh, I didn't know what it meant that he was the president of the United States. I mean, it's different, obviously. But then it's also like, you're American, and then you go and be a part of the British culture with the monarchy is 100% ingrained in the British culture, and you just try to, like, upend their entire culture over something that you don't like, that you have to curtsy to the queen. Like, you don't like that there are all these protocols that you have to follow. I mean,
yeah, it's
you
crazy.
knew what you were getting into. That's her. I feel like she knew what she was getting into, and she went into it knowing that she was going to do this. That's how I feel about
it. In the whole interview, she just made herself a victim as she's, like, complimenting herself the entire time. Like, I know I'm so strong for coming out and telling my story and all of this, but she's only playing this, like, race and mental health problem because it's so popular right now.
Because everybody's
playing it, so she has to do it too.
And then I understand the parallels between her and Diana, but I still think that it's so different because Diana was just an outsider because she wanted to change things, but more because Prince Charles didn't really love her. Right? So that dynamic of their relationship was so different. With Meghan, she came in literally trying to change everything. And not just, oh, I want to go and hug the kids in Africa and show people that you're not going to get AIDS from that. Like, that's what Diana did. But Meghan's like, oh, I don't think we should do this, and like, your culture is screwed up. Like, that's how I viewed it. As an American, I just want, like, we don't have something like that, and it's fun to look at and admire, and the history there. I mean, now it's like, I was listening to The View today, and they're talking about how Meghan's allegations are going to hold, like, political ramifications for the entire country because of their Commonwealth countries that are, you know, mostly minority and black, and now this could cause them to, like, not want to be part of the Commonwealth anymore because she is accusing the crown of being racist.
It's crazy, though, because they're playing this whole oppressed card, and you have a billionaire celebrity talking to a millionaire wife of a
But
prince.
I was talking to my dad, and my dad's like, you know, he leans both ways, and he was like, you know, I was so excited to watch the interview, and then Harry goes, you know, if my mom wouldn't have left me $10 million, we'd have nothing. I'm like, that seems like worse than when people say Donald Trump got a small loan of $1 million. I
know.
And now, like, oh, if my mom wouldn't have left me $10 million. Okay, so you were left $10 million.
Like they're poor too.
Yeah, I'm like, you are not oppressed.
No, I'm sorry. And then she's like, you know, I don't care about titles, but why isn't my son a prince? I'm like, well, if you didn't care about titles, why do you even care if your son has that title or not? Did you see her say that?
Yes, that's what I just.
And then when she compared herself to the Little Mermaid, I'm like, I'm out. I am out of here. You are not. She's like, oh, the Little Mermaid. She married the prince and lost her voice. I'm like, you need to get out of here, Meghan.
Well, and it's
I'm like, when she did that, I was checking out.
And I mean, yes, you are joining the institution of the crown. Of course, there are going to be checks and balances and people you have to run your statements through. I mean, you think that somebody in the White House can just come out and say, I'm going to put out a statement today. And I know I keep comparing the White House to the crown, and they're very different because, like, the Queen doesn't have any actual power. You know, it's more of an institution now. But still, I mean,
it's somebody that's in that same kind of light.
And they have to hold this, like, aura around them, kind of. Like, she's the Queen of England.
But, you know, it makes me really upset at Harry, too. Because he just sits there and is like letting her do this when they have, you know, worked on this for decades. And then
this family is centuries!
I know. And then he just lets her sit in an hour and a half Oprah interview and like ruin it in an hour and a half. It's kind of like sickening to me. And he just is like a little puppy. He looks scared. He looks like he kind of wants to get out of it, but like now there's no turning back. He's like gone against his entire family. Then they're like, oh, we want their protection though. And I'm like, well, you know, when you quit a job, you don't get the benefits anymore. Exactly. You can take your millions of dollars and hire a security guard.
And you're not even living in that country anymore.
They came to America, which is so horrible. You were so oppressed in America. Yeah. So like, come live here. Yeah, come on.
And now they want to, you know, she wants to vote for Joe Biden and advocate for all these liberal policies. So here we go. And his James Corden interview was like so corny on the double-decker bus. And then they have this entire media strategy laid out. But he does the James Corden show before their interview with Oprah.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, that part did not make any sense to me.
It's so strange. The whole thing is so strange. And I just was cringing watching the entire interview, and I just felt so bad for the Queen and everybody.
I feel bad for Kate Middleton. Now they're making her seem like,
oh, I know. She was like,
Middleton
it was
made her cry.
She made me cry. I'm like, this poor woman. I mean, obviously, I know nothing about her personally. I don't know. But she just seems so nice. She just seems like a genuine.
I know.
She just loves her husband, loves her family. I don't know. I feel bad for her. Because now they're like, oh, she actually made her cry.
But then it's like, now you don't even know who's telling the truth. It's like all hearsay. Legal term. I learned that today. But it's all like, he said, she said. And it's, I mean, personally, I just feel like they should stop attacking the Queen and the crown and let the poor lady and those, I mean, the family goes through enough having to be in that pressure, like do all of that stuff that they were born
Everything
into.
they're doing is being watched.
Yeah, Harry and William, Charles, like none of them chose this. They were born into it, and they're doing their best. And then Harry has to go and blow the whole thing up.
And then when she was like,
and wait, for her to talk about, and this is, I love Prince Harry, and when this happened, I was like, he's just a kid, like he, you know, he's under all this pressure. But for her to talk about racism in the royal family, Prince Harry dressed as a Nazi one year at a party. Like, there are photos where he has the swastika on his shoulder.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so it's just like, for the double standard is so, now he's, you know, oppressed also, and his family hates him, and the whole family's racist. Okay, well, not that I think that any of them are racist, but like, take a look at your husband.
He's the only one who's like done anything to, oh, well, that's way better than what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, I can't believe when she was saying that she knows how everybody feels during these times of COVID. Like, these people who can't feed their families and like, or leave their house.
Have you seen a picture of her house? She's tennis court.
But she was like, I was in the palace. It was like COVID. I had butlers and maids, and I just know exactly what you're talking about.
And now her house that she's living in right now during COVID has tennis courts and swimming pools and probably movie theater.
She's like playing with her chickens, and I'm like, you know, this girl has somebody cleaning out that coop every day because she ain't doing it. Right? I'm sorry, but she's got somebody doing her dirty work for her.
Oh, okay, well, don't come for us, people.
A lot of people feel this way.
No, I think so too. But then did you see on Twitter, they're like, abolish the monarchy, and I'm like, oh my god.
But that's Twitter. That's because Twitter is the
worst place
red
on
bottom
the
Republican has been taken off Twitter, so we can't say how we really feel.
Not me.
Yeah, actually, I'm still there, but I'm not really.
I have only 80 followers. It's fine.
They don't care about kicking me off. I don't have any voice on Twitter.
Twitter is the worst place on the internet. I really think so.
Well, I'll like repost stuff that people post me in, but me tweeting, it just doesn't happen.
I'm not witty enough for that.
No, I'm not that funny. I'm not either. But maybe I could be. I think we're funny on the show.
We'll see. If you guys want us to tweet, let us know.
Yeah, we could get a RBR Club Twitter.
We'll work on that.
We should work on that next week. We'll have one. We'll answer all your tweets. Oh goodness.
Okay, what else? So there was like a funny thing. A pastor, I think from Missouri, said that women should try to look like Melania more to please their husband.
Okay, I did not see that, but when you were telling me that earlier, he just thinks that, you know, women should be like red bottom Republicans because that's what Melania is.
You should be healthy.
Yeah.
You should want to make your husband happy. I don't think that that's sex. I mean, maybe the way he said it was a little sexist, but I mean, like, in the grand scheme of things, I mean, you should want to make your husband happy, and you should want to live a healthy lifestyle, and a healthy lifestyle means you're happy,
out, eating healthy.
Yeah, having like a happy marriage or a happy relationship. So like, I don't think that it's necessarily bad.
And for me, like dressing up and like wearing makeup, it makes me happier because I feel prettier.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So and like sometimes I work out because I know like, oh, I'm gonna wear a tighter dress on Saturday. Like, I don't look really good in it, so I'm gonna eat healthier this week and I'm gonna work out a little more.
I don't want to be bloated in a couple days.
Yeah. So I don't think. I think that wanting to look good for your husband or your boyfriend or your crush, there's nothing wrong with that.
You want to like keep that spark from like when you first met, because when you first meet, you know, you have that initial, oh my god, like he's so cute or she's so beautiful, and that's just like, you want to keep that going. You don't want them to forget.
But then you know, a couple years later, you wake up, their hair's a mess, they don't make fun, they got their retainers in.
That's like a beauty in itself too. You get to see the other side.
And then your boyfriend tells you, you look so much prettier without makeup, and you're like,
yeah, but you still want to like have your date nights and keep it fresh.
Of course.
But I mean, that's pretty funny that he said that.
I know.
And then
and of course Twitter comes for him.
Well, that's because everybody on Twitter, you know, like I said, I don't know what they are, but they're not the RBR club. They're not part of the club. But in other news, California's trying to pass where there's no like men or women section in department stores, or like girls and boys. So I don't know how people are gonna know where to shop. But the thing that's crazy to me, first of all, there's more people who identify as like a man or a woman. First of all, I mean, I think
so too.
But then when you're transgender, you're still wanting to either be a man or a woman. So I don't understand where this is coming from.
I just think it's so confusing to kids. Okay, I understand if a kid like says, "Mommy, I'm a boy." Okay, you know, like, okay, yeah. Like, and they really, really think that. But then to like put them in a situation where now there's no difference at all between boys and girls, I think it's confusing. And then I was talking to my mom, like, I had friends growing up and I was the girl, I loved pink, I was always in dresses, ruffle socks, headbands, like always. And I had friends that were really tomboyish and they wanted to wear overalls and stuff all the time. So I'm just trying to think, now they're just girls, you know, they wear dresses, they got married.
Oh, but everybody goes
like,
through the phases.
So I'm thinking now though, what if because they wanted to wear overalls and play football,
what if it changed?
What if their mom or dad told them, well, you're supposed to be a boy? And so then they start taking hormones and they became a boy, but then in reality they're actually happy being girls, they just wanted to dress.
Yeah, because kids go through phases too.
Yeah, my little sister was tomboyish, and now she's a ballerina. So
yeah,
but then it's confusing to them.
Because your mind is still growing. Like you're still like finding out your body.
But
so
I could never imagine telling a little kid that wants to dress like a boy, well, maybe you're actually a boy, instead of like, oh yeah, you want to wear that? Fine, cool. You're actually a boy. Like.
Yeah, no, I think when your brain and your body's fully developed and you're like, I'm not in the right body, great, good for you. You need to do what you have to do to be happy, but you can't tell a 5-year-old, oh honey, I think you should,
Yeah.
you know.
And like I said, I'm all on board, just like you said. If, you know, once you turn even 15, 16 years old, you know, and you can make that decision for yourself, but for them to offer these hormone therapies to 8-year-olds, even though the parents don't consent to it,
That's crazy.
I don't understand who could support that.
No. I mean, yeah. I have no idea. But
And then in other things that people, I don't understand how they can support, the Senate passed the $1.9 trillion COVID stimulus bill yesterday. They think that the House will pass it tomorrow, and Joe Biden is likely to sign it tomorrow or Wednesday morning. Here we go. I have so many thoughts on this also. And the first one is,
I will be bringing mine back into the economy. I will be buying either shoes or a new gun, so stay tuned. What I use my stimulus check for.
I just also think, oh yeah, you could get like one pair of shoes. If you get some sandals, you could get one pair and a pair of sandals.
That's what I'm saying. You could almost get like a pair and a half.
Yeah, $400. Yeah. Or, you know, you could get some like Louboutins and then a pair of Valentinos. Maybe even
You like
Louboutins and some Golden Goose sneakers.
You can mix and match, or you could just get like a really nice gun. So I'm still kind of contemplating in my mind what I'm gonna do.
I'll get shoes and you get a gun, and we could like put our stimulus checks together. Cause I'm a poor college student, so like.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a poor athlete, so I understand.
Poor with our shoes. How many shoes do we have? I don't think anybody actually believes we're poor.
Because when I get paid, I always like to say like, oh, you know, I won gold and I get paid X amount. Like, I should reward myself.
Mine is, I studied so hard this week. I deserve new shoes.
Okay, I'm not lying, when we were we were trying to be on the board of Tampa Bay Young Republicans, I was like, if I get on the board, I'm gonna buy a pair of shoes. Because I'm gonna need to look like really official.
So that's true. I did, when I got into law school, I got 2 new pairs, but they're like work shoes, you know, they look very professional.
That's how I felt.
But I think, I told Doug, if I get this new internship this summer, I need
new
new shoes. I need shoes for every day at the office.
I've had my parents bribe me with shoes like before.
Oh, me too.
So I completely understand. Even my first pair I bought myself, I was in high school and I saved up like so many birthday checks from like my grandma, my parents. I mean, every dime went into those pair of shoes. And since then I've been obsessed.
I've been obsessed too. I got my first pair like 4 years ago.
Yeah, and there's like other shoes I really like. Like I have some Manolos I love, some Valentinos I love, some trying to look, some Jimmy Choos I love, but just nothing. It's just
I don't wear Jimmy Choo.
You know, that's a story for another episode. You gotta stay tuned.
It's a good one.
You want to hear the Jimmy Choo story? But I'm always just like, I want to wear red bottoms, even with all these other cute shoes. So I don't even spend money on other stuff anymore unless it's like so fabulous. But
I know, I did get some Golden Goose sneakers, and I have to say, I was not a fan before.
Lately?
Oh yeah, I got some new Valentinos for Valentine's Day. Okay, anyways, way off topic. This stimulus check, stimulus bill, it drives me nuts when Democrats are like, oh, every Republican voted no on giving direct checks to the Americans or on the child tax credit, and they voted no for more PPP money. That's not true. Like, if you would put standalone bills, the Republicans would have voted for them. They would have voted for the direct checks. They would vote for the child tax credit. What they're not voting for is the
money going to all these other countries.
Yes, the bailouts for the states that their economies are still closed. Also, I think it's crazy that they want to give the stimulus bill to illegals and inmates, and that inmates, they got the last stimulus check also.
But why are inmates getting stimulus checks?
Did they lose their job?
No.
They don't have a job. They're in jail.
Exactly. And, you know, they don't have bills to pay. They're being fed. They have somewhere to sleep.
I said, what, they gonna spend it all on cigarettes at the little store they have in jail?
I don't know. But
although I don't know anything about jail. Obviously, I've never been there.
Okay. So I just watched a show about prison, and they do...
Orange is the New Black?
Okay, so I've seen that one.
I've
This
never
one's
seen
called
that one.
Wentworth, and it's like an Australian version of Orange is the New Black, but better. It's actually really good if you guys want to watch it. Like every episode kind of like makes you want to watch the next one. So off topic, but they're giving them to inmates, but not people who make over a certain amount of money.
I know, and that's what, if you made $300,000 last year and you lost your job, you're not getting any help from the government.
You could be making $3 million and lose your job too. And they act like these people are just so secure.
I know, but if you're making that much money, you probably have, you know, a lot of bills. So, like, if you're making more money, your house is bigger. Maybe your kids go to private school. Like, maybe you have more cars. I mean, you still have a cost of living that you have to meet. And just because you made so much money last year doesn't mean that your office closed and you lost your job.
Yeah, they could still be struggling. And it's not fair that all of these illegal people can get money. Like, they act like these illegals have more rights than we do, or the same amount. It's like, oh, just come over with your COVID.
Well, it's just like, yeah, come through the border.
Come with your COVID.
Bring your COVID.
We'll give you money.
We'll give you let you get on a plane and go to New Jersey to visit your family. Whereas if I had COVID and I got on a plane, I'd probably be arrested and charged with a felony.
You still get your stimulus though.
Oh, no, they'd probably take it away from me, really.
But, yeah, that brings us to border crisis.
There is a crisis at the border. There is, whether Joe Biden wants to admit it or not, and it is all his fault.
Well, because he wants these people here. He wants these hundreds of thousands of people to come over here wearing their Joe Biden t-shirts, where Lord knows where they got those things, because they want them to vote next election.
And it's so dangerous because people are sending their kids alone, or they're coming with their kids and they're dying, and their kids are coming here alone. And it's like, for one, that's dangerous. For two, now we are responsible for all of these kids, and it's not safe.
No, I mean,
I wouldn't send my kid to Publix,
let alone over the border to a new country where they might not even know the language, you know. It's crazy.
And then they have to put them in these tents and cages and all these other things, and people are like, oh, it's so inhumane. What's inhumane is sending your kid across the border to another country alone.
Yeah, but they say it's inhumane when Trump puts them in these cages, but when Biden puts them in the exact same place, then he's like a savior to everybody. I don't understand this whole double standard thing, but it's crazy.
Orange man bad, right? That's the only reason.
Of course. Well, anybody Republican is bad.
We're bad.
In that matter. But because they're trying to pass all these bills to make it where you can't have a or where you you don't have to have a license to vote. You don't have to have signatures matched.
Ballot harvesting.
Yeah, pretty much you can go in and vote no matter who the heck you are.
Everyone can vote by mail. Like, I don't understand how you have to have a driver's license to go to a bar, buy wine, buy super glue, buy cough syrup, cigarettes, serve in the military, go to school, drive a car.
Vote for who runs our country.
With absolutely no identification at all.
It blows my mind.
It makes no sense. And then they want to let 16 and 17-year-olds vote.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, I remember when I was 16.
I remember when I was 18 and I didn't know anything about voting. I just said, Dad, who are you voting for?
I did the same thing.
I'll vote for them too.
Yes, Dad. Yeah, you kind of just vote your parents.
Yes.
But I feel like politics has gotten like a lot bigger since I was 18.
Yeah, but like when you're 16 years old,
you don't know. I mean, because you're not paying bills. You don't you're not being affected by anything that's
some people do. The minority of kids that are 16, probably.
Most 16-year-olds aren't affected by...
Every 16-year-old I know, none of them pay a single bill.
Yeah, they're not affected by anything. They don't even know how to, like, that happens. It's crazy. Ugh.
But we will keep you all updated on the border crisis, because I'm sure it's not going away.
No, it's not. It's just going to get worse. And we're going to have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people just over here
Taking jobs from the other minority groups that are already here.
Yep, taking jobs, and then so many of them are criminals, and it's just...
And like you can be an illegal person and get caught drunk driving, and Joe Biden thinks you should be able to stay here.
If we got caught drunk driving,
we'd go to jail.
Prison for us. Forever.
Mugshots all over the internet forever, probably.
So bad. But in better news, Happy International
Women's Day! We want all of the women to know that we appreciate you.
Yes. Some red bottom Republicans we want to mention. Kaylee
McEnany, we love her, we admire her. I feel like Kate Middleton could be a red bottom Republican.
She probably is.
I feel like the monarchy's conservative, and I think I've seen her wear red bottom.
I'm sure.
But either way, she can be a red bottom Republican. We stand Kate Middleton and the Queen. Even if the Queen doesn't have red bottoms, we stand
You
her.
are not canceled by the RBR Club.
No, you're not canceled by anyone. I won't let them. Okay, other red bottom Republicans. Melania Trump.
She's the OG red bottom Republican. So.
Yes. My friend Cameron Kinsey, she is a red bottom Republican.
Yay.
If you guys have any red bottom Republicans, put them in the comments and we will shout them out on the next episode.
Yes. I love it.
Okay.
Oh.
This is going to be our new favorite segment.
Yes.
Chirp of the day.
Comes from Danya this week. So, I'm going through my message requests, something I like to do in my free time.
It's honestly the most entertaining thing for you.
Because, okay, a lot of the times it's mean. But
I like to read them too.
It kind of like gives me a little fire under my tush.
Sometimes you get
want to be better. Well, then there's brands and then
requests or something.
I get a lot of like shooting questions in there, so I like to answer them. I don't know. Sometimes there's like funny photos and videos of people trying my trick shots. I don't know. I like looking at my message requests. But there's always some girl that wants to take down another girl.
Because on International Women's Day, we should be respecting other women, guys. Women supporting women.
Yeah, okay, so I'll just get to the point. I'm making this so dramatic. It's not even a big deal. So I posted a photo at CPAC. We were having a great time. We were laughing.
So much fun.
We're meeting all these fun people. We're seeing our friends that we only get to see at like big events like this. So I'm cheesing hard, which is what I like to do. I'm doing it now. So I posted a photo of me and Matt Gaetz, and I'm smiling pretty big. And this girl says, "You got any teeth with those gums?" And listen, if she said this to me 5 years ago, I'd probably cry. Because it was something I was always so self-conscious about in like high school and college, was my gummy smile. And now I know how to like hide it in photos, but it's like, I don't care anymore, and I'm always smiling pretty hard, so.
Well, at least everyone knows that your lips are real.
This is the real deal, baby. I know, well, because I had this other friend in high school who, she had the same problem, and we were like, we saw like this gum surgery on Instagram where like they cut your gums to make, and I'm just like, I want to get this when I'm older, but now I'm just like, oh, I would never do that.
No, you are beautiful.
Yeah, but
you're a star.
When you're like 17 in high school and you're scared of like, everything, then you want to get your gum surgery, but now I don't care, so I don't have any teeth with these gums. If I knew your name, I'd say it.
Oh, no, I understand. Mine's not. I've had people say my top lip is small, but I have had the same problem, so I get it.
Yeah. And it's like, it's fine.
Like, keep the mean comments coming. Maybe you'll get a shout out on the show also.
Yeah, because, we want Chirp of the Week if we don't get our mean comments. We won't have anything to talk about. We'll have to put mean comments in each other's DMs. No, I'm just kidding. But if anybody else has the same problem as me,
let us know.
Let us know.
Okay, like this post, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and
comment your questions, because we
yes,
want to do a questions panel at the end of each week,
and
too.
we will answer all of your questions.
Yes! Cheers!
Bye!
Cheers! Bye!